He does the countdown.
What's happening, everybody?
Now you got me laughing already.
Hey, man, I slept a little bit, so watch the hell out is all I'm going to say. I could almost be with it this evening.
Oh, what's with the super zoom in here? Can you zoom out a little bit?
That's, um, you're the star of the show. I don't know why you don't want the focus. Let me see. Oh my God, I'm working. This is awesome.
Yep.
Let me turn my volume
All right,
on.
yeah.
I've got one watcher, and I know who it is. What's happening, everybody? Let me know if you can hear me. Someone text me, sweetheart. Tell me if you can hear me. Oh.
See, maybe my watching thing's just wrong because I already have full auto saying what's up and it still says 0 watching. What's up, full auto?
Full auto is there. What do we got here?
What's
And
up?
I have underfed. What's up, underfed? Dying. People think it's 67,000. Now, wait a minute. It is 67,000 before, I'm sure, a bunch of shit, but we will figure all that out as much as we can. Because that's why we're here. That's one of the reasons why we're here. Anyway, welcome to live chat. Two people here. And pricing was announced today. We'll give it a few minutes. What was going on this weekend? Anything?
Yeah, not really much of anything going on. I was going to go to the drag strip, but they had something else going on, so there wasn't really any test and tune or anything like that. Were you able to zoom that out a little bit? It's like crunched in on my face.
I can. If that's what you desire, I will I
Word.
thought you were going to sit back a touch, but that's okay.
I did. I moved the computer back. I sat back. That's all I got.
It's strange because you are definitely life size.
Where's the dyno day at?
Okay.
Is that like, I'll believe it when it comes from a credible source? Yeah, I mean, it has directly from their official marketing team or anything like that. But I mean, it was said by somebody from Ford, a representative from Ford, and it's, I mean, totally believable. It's exactly what I predicted it to be, base price wise. Like I've said many times on the channel before, guys, like the starting price of the GT500 is going to fall somewhere around what ZL1, pricing is.
I just learned something, how to scale this. So I'll get you right. Just give me a minute.
I keep moving the screen trying to like.
Jesus. Dude, I can't move that fast, bro. Hold on. Would you
Now
cut
it
this
just
shit, please?
made the screen
Stop it.
smaller, still zoomed in. Whatever, it is what it is. I don't really care.
No, I'll get it right. Just I have to set it, and then I have to move you over to the live. So there. It should get better. See? We're getting there.
Trying to stay a little square there. Oh, there we go. It's a little better.
If you don't stop moving, dude.
I can live with that.
Okay. I think we're okay. X rotation. What does that mean? Oh, I could do Z rotation.
So yeah, the nitrous, as far as I know now at this point, is looking good. I did 3 or 4 test pulls in it. I did 4 test hits in it actually, and it activated every time. So I'm feeling this weekend. Hopefully, weather dependent. I'll be up there this weekend to give it a shot. It'll be the first time. Remember, we never really actually had it working on the. Actually, we've never had it working since we tuned it on E85. But
Right. Which is impressive for the runs you got in a not ideal situation. So, dude, you're going to be ripping.
What really happened was the first time after getting after getting the E85 tune, the first time I went to the track, I didn't have the correct nitrous jets. So that was the time that I tried spraying it a little fatter with a little bit bigger fuel pill. And it just didn't work out. And then when I went back, what was that, 2 weeks ago, that's when the car it didn't like the nitrous. I mean, I've definitely pretty much came to the conclusion that it definitely was spark blowout. I had too much gap in the plugs. And that's why when I went back with the proper nitrous jets, it still just didn't like it. It made no power on the nitrous. It was actually down power on the nitrous. So once I took out all the plugs, brought the gap down from 35 thousandths, and some of the plugs were even, I don't know how that really happened. I did check the gap when I initially installed them, but some of them were even a little higher than 35 thousandths. I brought everything down to 30 thousandths, made those test hits, and it's hitting real nice.
Now, you were, if I recall, when those test hits were on, you were still on the drag pack, correct?
Yeah, I was. I did a couple from like, I did one or two from like fifth gear, from a fifth gear. I mean, especially on video, one of the ones I had on video, you can't really see. It's just such a, the nitrous was already activated when I floored it because I was past the 3,300 RPM zone. And so you can't really see much of a hit. And because we're in fifth gear and we're already rolling, it doesn't seem like much. But I did a third gear hit also, and I got one of those on video I have one of those on the video. And that one, it spun right through third. Like I rolled it below 3,300. So I rolled it to like 2,600 RPM, and I floored it, and it just it was on motor for a second, and then the nitrous activated perfectly at 3,300, and it spun all the way through third gear until I short shifted into fourth.
That's crazy, man. Yeah, along those lines, Full Auto has a video out, and when he did his 1.2 and 2.3, dude, it spun wickedly, and he's not running nitrous, and that was in drag mode. And I'll tell you, that is, I have to experience that vehicle with that transmission setup. It might change my mind about my current situation.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of fun. Like I've said before, I do still prefer a manual any day.
Well, ideally, I'd have both.
In the sense that before, unless we were talking about like a DCT or something, like you couldn't have made a good enough argument to get me into an auto. And now, I feel a little bit different about that. The transmissions have just came a long way.
Right. I'm just giving myself more light. See if that improves my picture. I changed my lighting. I keep changing it to see if I can get better quality. So let's see if that gets better. Or I'm going to go blind. But I'd want one of each. There's no doubt. Like I said, the Jeep might have a short stay here. But all that being said...
And that's one reason also I can live with it is because, it's not my only Mustang. So my other ones are manuals. I can live with having an auto. I don't think I could do just like only an auto. It's just too fun to rogue gears.
Well, I think that what comes down to is having the choices is pretty badass.
What was that, Mike?
Having choices is pretty badass. I kind of I'd rather have, I don't say one of every kind, but I definitely think an NA.
You would think I always thought about this when I was a kid, but you would think the technology, we're definitely capable of doing it. But when I was a kid, I always used to think how cool would it be to have a manual that you could just switch to automatic?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm
sure they could do it. I don't know what kind of cost, would put, but even on the supercars, why don't they do that? That would be cool.
It would be. Not only would it be cool, it would sell like hotcakes, really.
Exactly. Imagine if they did a supercar that you could shift manually for fun on the street whenever, and then when you really, for that magazine, times, throw it into DCT mode, and there you go. That would be sweet.
Yeah, the weight would be, Underfed saying the weight would be crazy. It would be, but, you would still have... You always got to give to get, so something would be. I think having that would be ideal.
It is, right now the technology doesn't exist, so. But really, it just depends on how they would switch it back and forth. Because really, like a dual clutch is sort of a manual in the sense like it doesn't have a torque converter. So it like from a dual clutch, it may be pretty close to where it just needs the actual shifting mechanisms and then like a way to change back and forth somehow.
Right.
I have no idea how. I'm not the engineer for that one.
No, but you know, I just when I hear these things bang gears, you know, and Mustangs and Camaros and Vets, modern vehicles banging gears, automatics that is, it's freaking amazing, dude. I mean, back in my day, you didn't have that. I mean, shift kits would make it fast, but this is so much faster. You know, turbo 350 with a shift kit in it was okay, but it's nothing like it's like so split second today. Crazy. And then the ability to adapt it to a pleasurable casual shift versus a crazy insane drag strip wheel spinning. It's sick, man. And the white car again, your white car and full autos. I just happened to white's been one of my top favorite colors for a vehicle. They did stop making white platinum the color of my truck. Why is everyone texting me? I know why my girlfriend's texting me, but why is everyone else texting me? They stopped making white platinum in 2017, so I couldn't get a 10-speed car in white platinum, but I could get Oxford white.
I did. I'd like that white platinum. I wish they had it for when I got the 18.
Right. They stopped it in 17, and there was a 17. I think it was a California special that was in white platinum. No, 6R80, and it was nice, but I just think as though I would have. I'd want the 10-speed if I'm going to have one. All right. So someone just texted me on purpose. Thanks, Ken.
The car should have been made out of aluminum. I mean, the unibody is what I mean. Like, there's just not too much steel on these cars. Like, I always say it because everybody's always like, "Oh, the tech." The tech doesn't really weigh that much. Yeah, we've gained quite a few airbags over the years, but even them, I mean, if you guys have ever had those in your hand, they only weigh like a few pounds each. So. Right. The weight problem is the fact that like they're still steel unibodies and like too much steel in the suspension, and just there needs to be more aluminum. And yeah, cost goes up, but you know what? If you look at the price that cars have gone up over the last just 10 to 15 years, it's insane.
Like, it's crazy. I mean, for what I paid for my truck, which is the most money I paid for any vehicle ever, it's absolutely crazy. Just, I mean, it wasn't that much. I got it had 2,800 miles on it. I paid 55 out the door. They wanted 55 for it. I down a bit.
They're all getting insane now. Like I mean, for like a nice, like my truck was $60-something thousand.
Yep, like, my MSRP was 65.
It's insane how much these cars cost nowadays.
Yep, I don't know. It doesn't seem to get any better either. It keeps going up and up and up. And yet you get less or cheaper stuff. It kind of sucks because just
Yes and no. The cars have also came a long way as far as tech and things like that, and better materials being used. Like at least Mustang on the Mustang side of things, like from like SN95 days, even S197. There's a huge improvement on interior quality and things like that. But still, I mean, look at the price difference.
Right.
A brand new, like in the early 2000s, a brand new Mustang GT, pretty much fully loaded, was like a low $20,000 car.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're mid 50s. So the cars have more than doubled in price.
Yep.
That's crazy. But that brings us to the topic pretty much for today, which is the GT500 pricing being released. What do you guys think? The guy, have most of you guys seen it, that they announced pricing? Well, when I say they, it has been announced that pricing should be the base starting price at $67,000, which would bring it right in line with, the segment. You know, ZL1, probably like Hellcat in that range.
I mean, you know, before we get, hey, Stella's on there. What's up, Rob? I would say, you know, before we get folks with their opinion, I would say for 67,000, the base car is not a base as we know it in a Mustang GT. You're
Yeah,
getting a
we've
lot
talked
more
about
stuff.
that before. When you say base, you just mean like, you know, the GT500 without the track package or the handling package. You know what
Right,
I'm saying? Like without an option set. That's what the base car is. I mean,
right,
I'm sure there's still options. And yes, we've also talked about, but just to be clear here, that the base car is going to be essentially a fully loaded Mustang. I mean,
right.
we've
Which
already
is
pretty much
killer.
confirmed that the digital dash is standard across the entire, you know, GT500 range.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you know you're going to get either Recaros or heated and cooled seats with the Alcantara centers. I mean, it's going to be a full. You'll get probably a, you know, one of the Though I'm sure they'll leave one of the audio options in there, like, you know, the shaker or whatever they have now. Hard to keep up with, but
Yep.
they'll probably keep something like that aside. But other than that, it'll pretty much be a fully loaded car.
It's a bargain, in my opinion. You're getting a lot of vehicle for the money, you know, stuff that
And
you
that
just talked
brings us to
about.
the next point, which it is a bargain, but can you get one for 67 grand?
Well, I mean, obviously, it depends on how well you know your dealer or don't know him. You know, I mean, you probably can get away with it if you've got a good
You know,
relationship.
unfortunately, even knowing your dealer is not enough because at the end of the day, if you're talking about a new release on a car that a lot of people are going to be fighting over, in a sense, it's you're asking them to you know leave $10,000 on the table or something. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So that's it's a hard negotiation to take on for sure. But with that being said, I've said this before. When I did a lot, I bought two GT350s. Remember, guys, I bought my GT350 Tech Pack and the 350R. So I'm pretty well versed on what it takes to get one of these cars and they over. And just like I said before, getting one of these cars at 5,000 over sticker should be absolutely no problem whatsoever.
Right.
So medium to large dealerships, they will get 7, 8, 9, 10 allocations a year for the GT500, the larger dealership. And those dealerships, the R was a different story. Then who knows what they're going to do with this track deck, the one that actually has the carbon fiber wheels. That's yet to be determined. But as far as the GT500 base or the handling pack or whatever, you know, just whatever options you may want on it, getting one of those cars at $5,000 over sticker should literally be a
Sold.
cakewalk. Yeah,
I
it
mean,
should be
really,
really easy to do.
you know, when you want to talk about it, even if you include a $5,000 ADM, that is still a great car
Yeah,
with a
it's
lot
still
of technology.
you're still gonna get, yeah,
You
for
can't.
sure.
It's hard. I don't want to say it's hard to beat, but for what it is, I mean, you're really talking about.
I mean, I will say it's going to be hard to beat. Like, yeah, we can go back and forth on that whole demon thing a million times over. It is a drag. It's not a drag car, but it should have beat it. Blah blah blah. Yeah. Okay. So there's one example. But as far as the rest of the competition, the rest of the segment, it's going to be hard to beat.
Well, that's
You know,
my point.
I'm sure it's going to absolutely destroy a Hellcat
yeah,
at the drag strip, which is
it's
pretty
gonna
much
stop better than most
Hellcat.
things
It's
on the
it's
road.
pretty much the Hellcat's only straight. I'm sure it'll probably still beat a Red Eye.
Red
Both of
Eyes
those
are
cars
running
are
about
absolutely
1060s.
destroyed on a racetrack on a road course, so that's not even up for debate.
Oh, I don't even
I've
think
heard
there's any question about that.
It is going to beat the ZL11LE on the road course. We know it's going to be faster than a ZL1 on a drag strip. So, I mean, sounds to me like it stacks up pretty well.
I
For
think
what,
it's a dynamite deal,
right, even
regardless of whether it's 720 horsepower or 790 horsepower. It's a slam dunk, and you know the specifics of that sub 11 seconds. You know, that's not with a tire. That's
the
not with a
brakes,
race
as far as
tune.
we know, Danimal are standard across across the line. So I don't believe that they're going to be any smaller brake versions. But that does bring me to another topic on the GT500. It was one of the same guys that had the video for the pricing release. It's the same guy. I'm sorry, not one. It's the same guy that had the video for the pricing release. He had a video from a couple weeks ago that I actually missed because I thought it was this. He put like two videos out that were pretty much the same thing, like where they were track testing. It was in Vegas. They were testing the GT500. And once again, Jim Owens was there talking to somebody, and he was standing behind him recording. I don't even know if he knew he was being recorded. And first, I thought it was a slip of tongue, but he said the drag pack, the drag package.
Right.
And I thought it was like a slip of tongue. I'm like, did he just call it the drag pack? Like maybe he just meant like the standard car is like the straight line car. But then he said it again. He said something along the lines like the track car, the track package for the track guys, and then the drag pack for the straight line guys. And I'm like, okay, is he just being Jim again, or
Right.
did he just maybe a secret out of the bag? Is it possible that they might be keeping that a secret, and they do have some type of drag package that they're going to drop a bomb on? Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? Because to me, it just seems it seems too simple to not do it. You know what I mean? And it seems like there's too many people, that want to see it. And if it's too simple and a lot of people want to see it, why not do it? 199. Thanks a lot, Ken. Appreciate it. Look at our comments. What happened? What did I miss? Said, guys, look at your comments. I've been looking at the comments. Does it have?
You can't get deals on specialty cars, right, underfed. But if you can get it for MSRP, you are getting a deal. So, tell you what, you can make money just doing that. You could fund your next vehicle just getting. They probably only allocate you one. I got the drive modes in my base car because I did the Sync 3 upgrade full auto. So I definitely enjoy the drive modes. Obviously, I don't have transmission modes because I'm a manual, but the drive modes themselves are fantastic and so noticeable.
I see where you said just talk to ourselves, Big Daddy, but I don't see where you asked me anything. So maybe it didn't pop up. You sure you hit enter?
One of these days, I'm going to figure out why you.
But yeah, sometimes the comments go by and we miss them, but I don't really see anything that was asked that I didn't answer.
I got to fix this lighting. That's part of my problem here.
What do you mean, would I buy right away day one for road course? Like, would I take it right to the road course day one? I would book a track day immediately or have one pre-planned when I know the car's being delivered for sure. That's exactly what I did with the 350R. And then what I did was I just, as soon as I got the car, I took it out and tried to put, around, I think I put like 400 miles on it. I wanted to put 5, but I put like 400 miles on it, did the first oil change and then took it to the track.
That's crazy, man. I still don't like this here. I gotta figure this out. Scale.
No, that doesn't leave you only with the base model. If you want the backseat animal, it's also just the same thing if you get the handling pack as well. The handling pack will pretty much be like the track pack from what I understand. You're just not going to get the carbon fiber wheels and you're not going to get the GT4 style rear wing. But other than that, I mean, And again, I'm sure there's going to be options from within the base car. So when we say base car, it's pretty much a fully loaded Mustang, and it's everything else the GT500 has to offer. I'm sure there'll be some other options of it, that you can get with the base car. But the two option sets that we know of are the handling pack and aside from the base is the handling pack and the track package. You can get the handling pack and still have your back seats. And also, just like with the 350R that came with no back seats, Ford Performance does sell a kit for like $800 that adds the back seats in. So I'm sure they'll have the same thing available for the 500. Oh no, no, I'm not, I've never been one to wait, a year to see if everything works out. I mean, cars have a warranty. I usually don't break, especially on my road course stuff like my 350R. It's still under warranty to this day. They could probably make an argument for some broken suspension parts or something. I probably wouldn't try to warranty that since I do have a couple of suspension, modifications done. But other than that, yeah, I would just keep my warranty intact. The car's going to come pretty badass from the factory, so I wouldn't worry too much about that kind of stuff. And in my experience, I've always had good luck with buying, first year cars. I've never really had an issue.
Well, you are not the norm. We're there. A lot of people get issues with them, but
Yeah, but a lot of people get issues with cars in general, and then that's just something to point at. You know what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
With this would open up the same type of debate like the tick debate. You know what I mean? It's kind of like
Right.
if something happens to your car in the first year, you're going to go, "Oh, it's because it was the first year car," not whether or not that was just an anomaly. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. All right.
But
Let's see
yes,
what
I
we
mean
got.
that's not arguing that there hasn't ever been issues that weren't, realized until the car was out for a year. So for sure that's happened. Absolutely.
All right. 1 second. Let me inject something here. I am getting a lot of feedback from folks that I am blurry. So I'm going to stop myself. You keep going, and I'll be right back. Keep going.
What's that?
I'm going to stop my stream and restart it to see if I can get rid of my blurriness. You look great and handsome and all that shit, and I look like a fucking cadaver.
Oh,
So
thank
I'm just going to redo myself.
No, I wasn't scared. That's kind of like what we were just talking about. In my opinion, there's
I'm
no
back.
real concern with 2018 engines blowing. I mean, I haven't seen any more engines blow from 2018s than I've seen from any other year Mustang or Coyote or any of that. So I just see a lot more people talking about it.
You still looking at
So,
statistics that are not known and assumed. So
well, that's what I'm saying. There's definitely more people talking about it, no doubt. But I don't see, like I said, my cousin works at the dealer. I have multiple friends that work at the dealer. There's people in this chat that work at the dealer we've spoken about this, and that's where you would think you'd see them coming in left and right with blown engines, and that's not happening. So it's all I see happening is the internet keeps regurgitating the same thing over and over that there's an issue with 18s, but I don't see it. I don't see any real evidence that that's a thing.
well,
My favorite supercharger's always really been Pro Charger. I love Pro Chargers. I just love the way they sound. But really, To be honest with you, the reason for that is because I'm truly a turbo guy. I love turbos and pro chargers. Any centrifugal supercharger will give you that spooling noise, but pro chargers are just kind of known for having the loudest head unit. So I've always been a fan of pro charger. Back in the day, it was kind of a no-brainer. They were the only self-contained units out there. All the other ones, you had to tap the oil pan. They were easier to install. They sounded way better. And they were also the first and only originally to have intercooled supercharger systems. All the old Vortex and Paxton kits, they were non-intercooled. So ProCharger was kind of like the innovators back in the day. And that's where I became a ProCharger fan. Now, to be 100% honest with you, they've all caught up. They all have self-contained. They all have head units that you can step up to, you know, out of the base head unit that are pretty sweet. What are you doing, bubby?
Oh, here we go. Different lighting. See if that helps. So, 67 grand. What is your, when you're done with your comments, let's talk.
Yeah, the E-Force superchargers, they've been showing their stuff already. And I'm a big fan of all superchargers, just like my O3 Cobra. There's nothing like the scream of a positive displacement. There, you know, I love them all, to be honest with you. It's hard to really pick.
There's no loser there. I mean,
yeah, and then they all really do have their own pros and cons. Like, really, in a stick shift car on the street, I'll be honest and tell you, like, you know, the Sentry cars are really not, probably no as fun as a positive displacement car would be. But I like the sound of them. They're fun to drive. It's just, you know, but and then on the track, it may be a whole different ballgame. Except for some of the, again, these new head units are ridiculous what they can do with like these Gen 5 Whipples and the E-Forces. It's unbelievable what they can do.
Right. I mean, but just compared,
you know, they really weren't able to keep up with the Sentries. You know, you really couldn't make 1,200 horsepower on a positive displacement just a few years back. Now that's, you know, not so much the case anymore. My thought on supercharger versus turbo is turbo all day. Everybody's are problematic and stuff. But the truth is, superchargers also at times can be pretty problematic too. They can have leaky seals. You know, they can have issues within the transmission of the blower. You can kick belts off left and right. You can have alignment issues. I've seen many times where, you know, guys just had a lot of trouble getting these things aligned properly with the crankshaft, and they can have issues too, is what I'm trying to say. But a supercharger, turbocharger is going to be way more efficient. It's going to produce less heat. It's going to make more power per pound of movement. And it's also going to be, in most cases, a lot more capable than, you know, any given supercharger. Yes, positive displacement hit. That's the thing I was just saying, Ken, about like on the street. I would say a positive displacement. I wouldn't argue that it's going to be a lot more fun to drive than like a Sentry car would be because of the immediate hit. If you have a properly set up turbo car, though, you get big low end torque also. A lot of these guys nowadays, like everybody wants to over turbo everything. They want to put like twin 67s on a car, and then they want to make 700 wheel horsepower. It doesn't make any sense. You know, you should be on like twin 50s at the most if you want to make that kind of power. And with some good ball bearing turbos, like, you're going to get really good spool characteristics from that.
Okay. I dropped my resolution, changed my lighting. We'll see what happens.
Man. That's really like, man, hopefully I can bring that to the channel at some point, guys. Like, I don't want to say it yet, but I'm going to say it anyway. Like, I'm kind of leaning towards, if I can make it happen, turbo in the GT500.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Nice talking with you. I'm going to shut this down. No, seriously. Really? Really?
Yeah, I'm serious.
Why wouldn't you just do it to the R and not?
Because the R for one is meant to be NA. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
The R, like the Voodoo motor, it's more than just high compression. Like the compression rings are really close to the top of the piston, and that's not very good for boost. You know what I'm saying? It's just not the best designed engine for boost. You can rebuild it for boost, I'm sure you can, and flat plane crank would be awesome. But then aside from that, it's for me that's my track car. It's literally not that I'm not going to track the GT500. I am going to track it a lot, but that car is for competing. Like I want to eventually compete with that car, the GT350R, and I'm just not going to, that'll take me out of specking out of most classes, and it just
well, what is the plan with the 500 to just be a non-competitive, self-satisfying beast of a driver or what?
no. Well, when I say competing, I mean competitive and competing are kind of two different things in a way. Like competing, I'm saying like I have to spec into certain classes, and if I was to, we've talked about this before, if I was to put 800 horsepower in that car, it's going to put you into like an unlimited class. There is no class that you can put turbos on and fit in with that car. So it would just be unlimited. There is one class, it's called unlimited. And then you're literally up against, it's like in any other type of racing. Unlimited is the top of the top of the top. Like it's not the drivers that you have to worry about, it's the money, it's the people's pockets. And
Right.
I just wouldn't be able to compete with the car anymore. But the GT500, if you mean competitive as in throwing down nasty lap times on the track, yeah, I can make it work with a turbo setup for sure. Because you also have to remember that it's going to be a lot easier with that car to make it happen because they've already thought of, like, as far as the engine build, it's already thought of that the thing's going to be on boost. It's already lower compression. It already has pistons that are designed to deal with boost. It already is going to have bigger wrist pins and just thicker head studs, all the things that I've already heard that are on that engine to help it deal with boost. And then it goes further than that because they've had to set it up for boost and because it was designed to be a track car, meaning it has to go around track and not overheat. It already has coolers in place for starters, it's for a supercharger. It has, a front mount heat exchanger that delivers the water to the intercooler above the supercharger. But even if I was to go turbo or, do something else on it, there's already room in the front bumper to put, a front mount intercooler where that heat exchanger was. Whereas like on the GT350, you would be kind of like the way they design the air to flow through there. There's a very small hole in there, and it's pretty much designed for the radiator to be cool. You know what I'm saying? So, like,
I do, but I just
it's really a good candidate for what I'd love to do.
I can understand that, but I would have a problem fracturing or modifying a vehicle that is, somewhat limited production and, a specialty thing, changing the way it's designed to run without even really knowing how it's going to rip around as it currently sits. I mean, the thought of that is pretty off the charts,
Yeah, I could make a turbo system where there's plenty of turbo cars that run on the road course, man. Like it could be done. But keep in mind, dude, like it's just going to be a fun car. It's not going to be like, it's not a big deal if it overheats after 20 minutes and I have to end the session early.
Oh, it's a big deal. I just don't, it's not a big deal for you.
It's not a big deal.
Yeah,
well, it's my car, so that's who it matters for.
But you're making me nervous. Is what I'm trying to say. But anyway,
Why would I make you nervous?
I just.
I mean, that won't be like day one type build. That'll be hopefully in the first year of owning it. I would like to say, but yeah, I mean, we're gonna test the hell out of that car just the way it comes. I like I said before, I'm probably gonna put the nitrous kit on the car. That way it'll be something cool for the channel. People will want to see that. what it'll do with the nitrous, and it'll be different. I'm sure not anybody else or not many people will be taking that route. But it also, the nitrous allows me to keep the car 100% stock, where I can still test the thing exactly the way it comes from the factory. But if we want to see what it'll do on a 100 shot also, we can do that. So that's probably what we're going to do right off the rip. And then from there, yeah, man, I'm considering looking into either like a compound boost setup, like the old Hellraiser kit that used to come for the 03 Cobra, 0304 Cobra, or just removing the supercharger, doing a custom intake manifold, and wins.
I tell you, you are all in every time. I mean, you want to wax the car and ceramic coat it and put window tint on it first before you do anything? I didn't get my joke, guys. Damn.
Oh, yeah. Xander's right. You'll need a minimum of a 20-inch brake. I'm so 20-inch brake. You'll need a minimum of a 20-inch wheel. Yeah, like he said, those brakes are freaking ginormous.
True.
What's up, Tracy? How's it going? But yeah, you'll need a minimum of a 20-inch wheel, and I'll say this. I'm going to guess that some 20s aren't going to fit. Because I have a set of 20s on the 350R, not on there right now, but I've put a set of 20s on there many times, and the 20s that I have barely clear the brakes. Barely.
And these are much bigger,
and
correct?
These brakes are bigger. So I think there might be certain 20s won't even fit. But I would say you could pretty much forget about putting a 19 on the front.
Well, I mean, you're talking a lot of work and a lot of money to downgrade the brake system for drag racing.
But the good thing is, though, and like one of the guys on the live stream brought this up one day, and it kind of got me digging into it a little bit about the rear brakes. I don't remember. Was that you, Dan? I don't remember who that was.
We talked about it. I brought a picture up. I don't know who brought it up.
Yeah, exactly when we were talking about that. Well, I was looking into it after that, and it got me thinking because I specifically remember the engineer telling me that the front and rear brakes were bigger, and then when I looked, he was right. Like the diameter was showing smaller, and then I realized what happened here, and I think this might be. I think they might be trying to give the drag guys an option here. The GT350 rear brakes have a drum e-brake, and if you look at the rotor, the diameter is huge. The overall diameter is huge. We're talking about the rear brakes here. The GT350. The diameter is huge, but the disc itself is very small. And it's because the entire hub of the rotor is the drum brake. And what they've done on the GT500 is they've actually brought the diameter of the rotor down. And they kept the disc either the same or bigger, like the engineer told me. I think it might even still be bigger. I'll be able to measure it once I get one in my hands. But I think the disc might actually still be bigger than the 350, but they shrunk down the hub because it doesn't have the drum brake.
Right.
And now they've added a second caliper for the drum brake. So what they've done here is, in my opinion, is they're allowing the brake to be a smaller diameter so that we can still put a wheel on the back and drag race it. Because I know you can fit an 18, some 18s, same thing like I was saying with the front of the 500. There's certain 18s like the Apexes and the Forge lines that will fit the rear of a GT350, some 18s. So if they've shrunk the diameter of the rear rotor, it may be possible, guys, that we can get a 17 on the back. And then we can, that's what my drag wheel is. It's a 17. So it's a crapshoot. Who knows? But if they've shrunk it enough, because like I said, some 18s will fit on the back of a GT350. So if they did shrink it enough, it's possible that we can get a 17 on the back. And if you can get a 17 on the back, oh boy.
I mean, you know darn well someone considered that while designing this,
Well, that's what I'm
because
saying. Like if those race stars that I have in the garage will fit on the back of the GT500, like oh man, it's that thing is going to run a nasty time right off the showroom floor.
oh, it's gonna rip. Yeah, and then if you want to put a custom race gas fuel in it and custom tune, forget about it. You know.
Yeah, and I'll go there eventually, but I really want to ring the thing out just the way it comes. I want to make lots of quarter mile passes, and I want to do all the things that most people are going to do or going to want to know about. Like, what's it going to do with a tire? I know that's going to be a big debate because at the end of the day, it's not going to be faster than a Demon in the quarter mile. I promise you that. And guys are going to want to know, okay, but what does it do on a proper wheel and tire setup? You know? And
It's gonna be
is it possible to maybe beat a Demon with just, let's be more realistic and say it's not going to beat a Demon in the quarter mile, but maybe with just a tire and a tune, it's possible.
right. I
And
mean,
you
you got to
still,
make things even. If you're gonna take a
well,
off the
that's what I was just
showroom,
going to say. I'm not trying
you
to,
need a drag pack. That's all.
well, you need that on the
Start
Demon
there.
too. That's the thing. You gotta freaking change out your dashboard and have it flashed by the dealer, and you got to change your tires out, and it's the same thing, really.
Yep. When the prices were released, were there anything released for above the entry level or base model, or is it just specifically that? I mean, do you have any additional information for what you're going to get? Let's say
What's that? Say that again.
the vehicle you're going to get, is the MSRP out for that, or was it just the base model?
Well, I can pretty much calculate that because when I was in Detroit speaking to the guys there, they did actually tell me that the track package will be in line with the R option because of the wheels. And if you take a look at the GT350, and the R option was right around, I believe it was $12,000, $10 or $12,000, I believe. So that would put the car still under 80 grand, or right around 80 grand. So figure like this, guys: fully loaded sticker is going to be right around 80 grand, fully, like with everything. Now the question, one thing I'm still worried about is what are they going to is there going to be a separate allocation process for the track package cars because of those carbon fiber wheels? Because they've or that they've had trouble producing enough wheels. So I'm not sure if they can make that car just to where anybody can go order one, because they won't. I'm not sure if they can produce the wheels of that. I mean, I was told that was the reasoning why the R's were a limited allocation. The 350R was strictly because of the wheels. They just couldn't make enough of them.
Jeez. That is something, that car, man. Do I have? I have a comment from a Dodge guy. The Demon is a joke. The car is more hype than bite. Well, they certainly know how to hype things. No question about that.
Yeah, same thing. And I'm hoping, like Jay asked about the moment a pulley is available, E85 tuning. You best believe I'll be at the track ready to go. Yeah, same here. And I'm actually hoping that if I get one early enough, I can, maybe even work with one of the tuning companies to get these tunes out there as fast as possible. But it all, there's really no way to know who and where is going to get these things first.
So, do you have regular contact with your dealer of choice?
Yeah.
Okay. So they know anytime they get one, you're ready to go.
Yeah, they're not. I mean, they're not just going to get one. I'm going to order
Right.
the way I want. Basically, the way it's worked with us in the past, and they're pretty aware of this at this point, is like I contact them and let them know before they even know. They kind of know me for that already over there. Like
Right.
I'll call them and let them know, hey, the order banks are opening tomorrow. Like I'm ready to order. They
Is
won't
there
even.
any with a specialty car like this? Because I'm not done. Is there a specific deposit they want that is, because that they want a specific percentage down, or you could just
Not
retain
usually.
it?
I mean, they'll usually ask for a deposit when I order a car, but it's not. They don't ask for anything crazy.
All right, so you can go in there with a couple
Hey,
grand
what's up,
and get this
California?
going. I see.
Hopefully, we'll be at the track this weekend, weather dependent. So I don't know if you'll be able to make it out there or not. Yeah, that's normally what I put down as a deposit, $1,000. I've even put down 500 before, but yeah, 500 to 1,000 is normal. Yeah, they're saying things open 514, but that the announcement was really made 2020 Mustang order banks open 514. I don't think it was actually specifically said that GT500s will be able to, the GT500 order bank will open on that date. Because historically it has, they Mustang and like GT350 or 500 have had separate order bank open dates. Yeah, beach this weekend.
Some demon stuff. So who on the chat is going to get a GT500? I mean, underfed, full auto, Ken.
I know. Pretty much everybody's going to want one as soon as it gets closer and closer. You're going to start seeing more people coming out of the closet.
It really depends on money. Me, I don't think so. I don't think so.
For you personally, you mean? Or you don't think so that people are going to
No, I
spend?
don't think so for me personally.
Oh, okay, yeah.
There's too many things going on that require money, and I'm marginally stretched at the
It
moment.
would be a nice one for you though if you do decide, to go away from the stick shifting. It would definitely be a nice option.
Agreed, but I'm in my car, very reasonably, even with what I've done to it. I'm not at 50 grand, not even yet. So I would rather have another one in a 10 speed, a badass
At
enable.
time said he's getting a GT500. Ken said he's on the fence.
Xander's probably going to get one, right?
Xander, I didn't get the chance to watch your video yet today. I was at work when you've been dropping all your videos now during the day. I'm like, I don't get to see them right away.
Huh. Stang mode,
Said no.
Vinny. I would say there's a few that we know.
I haven't heard from them much lately, so I don't know what their current thinking is. I know when we went to Detroit, they both were kind of on board price dependent. So I would think the pricing holds true, and if Vinny can get a decent deal on one, I would imagine again if that pricing holds true that he's probably wanting one at that price. I mean, that's pretty much what he paid for his R.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
And you have to remember his R really is a base in every sense of the word. So
Yep,
if he can get in one of those cars for let's say under 75 grand, I think it would be a really good move for him.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And I mean, at that money, you could possibly entertain keeping the R. I mean, he could. I'm guessing. Just I just like having. I would like to have two.
Yeah, like Ken was saying, he was out, but with the new pricing, he's kind of thinking about it. I do, man. I realized how many people really were like certain that this thing was going to be like 100 grand.
Well, perhaps the one they're advertising is going to be
Well, I think
stupid.
most people were thinking the car was gonna start more at like 80 grand, and then with markups closer to 100 grand. Guys, by the way, if you're not subscribed to Speed Addict, give him a subscribe because he actually has a GT500 right now. And then
And it
also
is
Xander
sweet.
13. I'm sure most of you guys are subscribed to Xander 13, but His
Yeah,
car was
let's get the
just
subs
recently bang.
happening for everybody. Share the videos if you can. If there's some,
Yeah,
whether
that's
it's
what we try to do, guys. We're all like a little YouTube crew, so we try to spread the wealth around and get everybody knowing everybody and help each other grow.
that's right. That's the whole. I mean, outside of having the friendships, trying to spread this and build this for everyone is what it's about for me.
Yeah.
You got good questions tonight, man. Good for you.
Yeah.
I don't know that my chat is reflecting accurately either. This says two people. I can't imagine there's only two based on my comments.
It couldn't have been accurate at the beginning because there was already three people talking for me and it said 0 watching. So
Yeah,
maybe
true.
it's just delayed a bit.
Yeah, he's got 1 million subscribers. We're talking on my channel. We're talking. My buddy Rob and I were saying about Cletus when we were talking about building a car for money. He's got 20 something in that Crown Vic, and that thing whips ass. So I mean, just think of how many cars you could build for 100,000.
Right
But
there.
a GT500 is special. It will always have value. And that was 100,000 number was really more referring to the demon. I just couldn't do it.
That's that's what's kind of exciting. I'm trying to get one new, and I'm gonna have a headache on my hands to get this thing. And well, hopefully I won't, but I foresee that I will, just based on my prior experience.
Because of what? Getting jerked
It is
around the
exciting
dealer?
to think that in just a few years these things are going to be on the market used, and you'll be able to get one of these cars for probably 50 grand in just a couple of years. So
It will be a couple years, but I could see it being in the mid to high 50s easy. Like a used one,
yeah, that's
Let
what
the
I'm saying.
person
Like,
take.
in a couple of years you'll be able to get them for around 50 grand, and it's going to be one heck of a car for that price.
And I tell you, I'd be more inclined to do that on a super low mileage one like my Roush one than I would be to go buy and pay ADM and sticker.
Jay,
Because
that's a good question right there, and I actually have the answer to it. Yes, it does outhandle the GT350R on track, and I can share that information. I have friends that actually have test drive are development drivers in these things, and yes, it does outhandle the GT350R, and that was actually my original idea was that there's no way that it was going to outhandle the 350R. I thought that it would be slightly less grippy than the 350R, but obviously make up for it in shifting and acceleration. And probably I figured they would throw bigger brakes on the thing and get it to stop as good, if not better. But I mean, if you go on Instagram and you check out like Billy Johnson's Instagram page for the GT500. Actually, Billy's the main guy. Billy's the main development driver on the GT500.
mm-hmm.
I mean, and you can not only talk to him, he's a nice guy, but he's posted many little tidbits about the GT500, and he said it actually creates more lateral G-force than the GT350R, which means it does have more cornering grip. And it also stops better than the GT350R. So he didn't go as far as saying anything about acceleration, but I think we all know that part's a given. So yes, it's been confirmed that it stops and has more lateral grip.
That
is very impressive.
And he didn't quantify it though, right?
350R.
By any means, did he?
What's that, Mike?
He didn't quantify it. He just said it's better.
No, he said in data, it's more lateral grip, more lateral G-forces were made with the GT500 than the 350R. That is literally a measurement of side to side.
But he didn't give you a specific number, is what I'm saying, which he probably
no
can't.
Specific number, but he did say that it created more lateral G-force than the 350R.
More is better.
Yeah, and it stops better.
That's going to be wicked right there. Throw
but I mean, you have to
200
remember,
or so horsepower.
Close to twice the downforce as a 350R. It has larger tires since technically they're 20-inch, and a lot of people don't realize it, but the when the diameter of a wheel gets bigger, your contact patch doesn't get bigger side to side, but it does get bigger. It gets bigger front to back. So it's bigger tires than the 350R, bigger brakes, more downforce. I mean, it's all there on paper.
That would be a good discussion maybe a little bit later this night about
I mean,
tires.
that new silver is gorgeous.
It is.
The
It's
pictures
not
that
like
I
the
keep
current.
seeing with the silver with the black stripes, it's hard to. I've been eyeballing that one myself. I'm not gonna
It
lie.
is a beauty. It is
I
a
do this
beauty.
to myself every time I order, guys. I end up with like driving myself insane over the color.
Really?
I do it every time. I drive myself nuts.
Let's see what we
The
got here.
R was three different colors. The R was originally ordered in grabber blue. See, I have a thing for black cars. It's hard for me to get away from black cars. So it's always like my fallback. I ordered the R in grabber blue with a black roof. And then I changed the order to black because I was like nervous about getting a bright color. I never really got a bright color before. I always get like dark color cars. So I changed the order to black and I'm like, yeah, you know what? And then I went to they did like a for GT350 or Boss owners, and they Ford brought us out on track and let us track the 350Rs and stuff like that. And they had my car sitting there. They had a race red 350R with a black roof sitting there, and I was just it looked so good. I couldn't. That was it. I changed my order to the race red, and that was it. But that car was ordered three different colors: grabber blue, black, and then the race red. Yeah, Xander, dude, that green, man. See, you know what's funny is most people like saw that emerald green crap that Ford released on St. Patrick's Day, and then got all mad when they see that it's actually more like a pastel, creamy like grabber blue but green. And they're all upset. I'm happy. I couldn't when I saw that emerald color. I'm not with that at all. I don't like that emerald green color with looks like yellow. I'm not. I don't like it. But that grabber green color, that limey pastel looking, I love that color, man. I really do. I'm not sure 100% if I can buy it and own it, but I can't lie, I really like it.
I'm going to bring this in for a minute. Look at that. That is a bad ball.
Yeah. See, guys, honestly, I don't see it yet, but yeah, that's silver, man. It's so sweet. Yeah, that's what we should be doing when we're talking about this stuff, man.
That's
Pulling
what
up all
I'm
this-
trying to do. You know,
Yeah, for sure.
I have to
Good
get out
idea.
of my coma sometimes, so pardon me.
Yeah.
But what a beautiful, beautiful
The
car.
silver is so sick, man. Like,
It
and
really is.
those are like the Ford, shots. They're probably doctored up pretty well, but like even the ones I'm seeing, like people just taking a cell phone grab, in at a car show. The car is gorgeous.
I mean, just
But
the
yeah,
balance.
Gap Time Grabber Blue is my first choice, and I was really upset when I saw that they didn't have Grabber Blue. I still, to this day, kick myself in the ass for changing the color on the R. I absolutely love the race red, I really do. But
Speaking of red, we'll get to that in a moment. But
I always wanted Grabber Blue, and that was like my one shot to get Grabber Blue, because every other year that I bought a brand new Mustang, Grabber Blue wasn't an option. So the one year I could have got it on the R, race red, you can get it every single year. So that's why, even though I absolutely love the race red, I wish I got the Grabber Blue. I wish I would have left the order alone.
speaking of red, these three. Why didn't it come up yet? There we
He
go.
said, click the blue one. That's the one he's ordering. See,
I mean,
now,
these three colors are killer,
I
man.
like that blue too, because in lighting, it kind of does look like grabber blue. But the problem is with the blue is like it's a dark blue in like not in direct sunlight or under. But I'm kind of thinking the blue also, but with no white stripe, no stripes at all, just blue with black roof. Type
I
in.
guess you can get a stripe delete. I would
Can
assume.
you search, Mike? Can you search for GT500 in shit? Now I forgot the name of the blue. Velocity
in
blue.
in
Velocity
shit blue. Let me
It's
see if I can
velocity.
find that right there. Shit blue. It's not there.
Yeah, there you go. Shit blue.
Um, this one?
Yeah, just do a for images of and there was one. There's a velocity blue one. No, no. Like just look through all the little images. There was one that was just recently shown, and it's exactly the way I said. No stripes with black roof.
Oh, okay. Let me see if I can find that.
It's probably in there if you just kind of scroll through it. Those are all stock images.
I have to figure out how the hell to use this window here, and I think I'm doing it wrong. So,
Oh, is
pardon me
that
for
like, do you see what we see? You can't see the whole window? Is that what it is?
well, it's I need to configure it to do not just the window. I need to do the whole
Yeah, see,
page.
that's gorgeous. That's actually the car that I was with in Detroit. You know, Xander, me, and Stang Mode, and Tunnel Chaser. That's the car that we were filming for you guys. That's the exact car, I would imagine. But I'm not with, not only am I normally not with white stripes, although I will admit it looks good there. I'm really not with those white stripes on the side. Yeah, the twisted orange is also gorgeous.
Yes, it
Man,
is.
honestly, all the colors are so. That's why I do this to myself every time. I'm really such a fan of, some of you guys might know I used to be an auto painter. I'm really a big fan of nice colors. There's, oh no, that's not it. That's the, never mind.
I'm seeing S550s. Was it a GT500 page, perhaps?
Yeah, but usually you can find that stuff in Google Images if you just, what did you search for? Like you just typed in
GT500
velocity.
velocity blue, no stripes.
Oh yeah, I would take away. You get too many keywords in there. Just take away the no stripe and do GT500 velocity.
How about we do it this way? Velocity blue GT500.
Yeah, that's the same thing.
No, there's no stripes. I didn't have the stripes thing in it.
No, just
Let me
yeah.
go.
We can't see the full page. I'm not sure what you see.
Yeah, you're seeing the full page, but I need to zero in on something, like a specific window. So give me a moment.
No, it's not the whole page because the pictures on the right are cut off. And we would
Yeah,
be
it's because I have the window. Let me do it this way. Let me configure.
But yeah, I
it a
really
little
wish
bit
there was a grabber blue, man. Grabber blue would be. Ugh. So basically, what I'm kind of leaning most towards, guys, is getting black and then doing something along the lines of what Stang Mode did, or having it wrapped grabber blue. I'm not really so much with the wraps because gloss wraps are just not up to my standards. Again, back with my painting background, yeah, I mean, a gloss wrap up close and personal. Yeah, they look great on Instagram. Yeah, they look great on video. But if you've ever stood right over one and compared it to a base coat, clear coat painted car, it just doesn't have the depth and the glossiness to it. So matte wraps, on the other hand, I love the matte wraps.
I like the matte wrap,
yeah,
like a black or a dark gray.
Yeah,
They're gorgeous.
gorgeous. They've got the matte wraps. They've got those dialed in. It's the gloss wraps that they just haven't figured out yet 100%. But what Stang Mode set up, where it's actually, a removable coating, and then it's pretty much like an auto clear on top, and then you do get that full distinction of image, like we call it in the auto body industry. Just like looking into a mirror or a piece of glass.
Is that it?
Yeah, there's one on Mustang 6. Yeah, that's it right there. That's the picture I was talking about. But yeah, it looks like a really poor. For some reason, the resolution's not as good as.
It's not great on Google either. So let me see if I can get it
Yeah.
a little bit more aligned.
I felt like it was better. It could just be the way it's coming through the computer, though. I don't
How
know.
about now? Is
But
it
yeah,
better?
that's what I was talking about, guys, right there. And there's
Dude, I
another
love
couple
the black
pictures. If
roof.
you actually go to that thread, there was a couple pictures of that car. But yeah, look at where the sun's hitting the hood there. See how
Yep.
it almost looks like grabber blue right there where the sun's hitting it.
It does,
And
but you
I,
know what I noticed too? Look at those lines on the hood. It looks like a 2017 hood, more like mine. Don't you think? The way the hood
no,
rises up just a little bit.
no, I don't.
I guess you don't believe it. I guess you don't see it. I'm talking
He
about
said, "I
like
guess you don't believe it."
I said you don't see it.
No, first you said believe it.
You're right. You know what? I don't like you anymore. Forget it. It's very hard on me.
But
This
if
is
you click on
6G.
that thread, I think there was a couple pictures of the car. You're just on the home page for M6G.
This is the first. So you want me to go to forums?
Yeah, that thing is so gorgeous, though, isn't it? With just the black roof and no stripes.
Do
Like,
you
see
recall?
where the sun is hitting that blue. I think that color is gorgeous.
Do you recall which? Oh, specifications and photos, official. Let's try this one.
That one, no, it was that car actually. It was Velocity Blue. Something, something. This one's got all kinds of picks in it, though, for sure.
That is a bad ass. Ugh, this red is
That
killer
yeah,
too.
that last. I know that red, but here's my thing on the red. If I and I'm thinking about this too, guys. This is kind of like my fallback. Just getting because how cool would it be to just have the 350R and the 500 matching race red parked together at the, I mean, come on.
You know what? It would be cool if it wasn't race red.
And
I'm sorry.
and here's the other thing with the race red. If I get race red, then I can if that hood fits, I can put it on the R. I can I can swap parts back and forth. That trunk and that GT4 wing, I can put on the R for track days. Oh man.
This car is sick, dude. I really haven't given it much attention, but this is a serious looking vehicle. I love the silver,
Dude,
man.
I've been having track withdrawals for like 2 months now.
I
I'm not
bet.
either.
I love the red. I love the blue, and I love the silver. I want to try and dial in this photo a little better. Let me see if I can crop this a little bit better, guys. Let me try
See,
and
that's
scale.
silver. Look at that. Oh,
Yeah, I mean it's freaking crazy. I mean you can't. In my opinion, these three colors you cannot go
dude,
wrong.
the
There you go.
silver with the carbon wheels is just like, oh my god, so nice.
Yep, that's it. I'm getting one. Forget it.
I wish it's moments like those, like pictures like those, make me really wish I was like filthy rich because I would order one in every freaking color, and then I'd order an extra one just to have painted the color I want.
That's crazy, dude. But you know,
I, I wouldn't be greedy with it either. I would put on track days and let everybody, enjoy.
if there's, I'm going to keep going in this thread to see if there's any more gorgeous pictures. But I tell you, that red is I don't know if that's new for this year, but it is gorgeous. At least on this car, it's gorgeous.
That was a cool. See,
This
look,
one?
go back for a second. Go back, back. You're going.
This one?
You're not going back. You're going the same way.
The hell I'm not. You're just behind.
Oh yeah, that's what it is. There's a lag.
Yes, there's lag. There's a
It was
couple of
blue
seconds
car.
of lag.
It's a side
Then
shot
you-
of the blue of the Velocity Blue.
All right, so you want me to go back to the aerial view?
No, it was a side shot that you passed of the. Man, there's that silver. Man, that silver is.
There we go.
Argue how nice that silver is.
Is this it?
Yeah, it's like right there. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like there's 4 or 5 seconds between I get it and you guys actually see it.
See now, in my mind, right there, I'm looking at that without those white stripes, like on the side, especially. They don't bother me so much on the top.
I don't like the top. I don't like the side stripes either.
Yeah,
I think
but
it takes away
them
from the
side
lines.
stripes, that is, man, that's nice.
That is a sweet ride. Now, let me see if I can find Another angle. I love
Ruby said,
the
"I've never
silver,
been a
but
fan.
honestly, that
Drives
red
me
is
to the redhead."
freaking killing it. The red is killing it, dude. Let me get this.
That's all the more reason to buy a red one.
But let me be more specific. Not red. This red. It's not like red red. It should be coming in any second in scale.
Then you can beat on the car.
Let me get this lined up a little bit better here. Boom. There it is. It should be with another second or two. It'll get a little nicer. There we go. It just slid over. Okay. Those three from the rear, that red, if that car color is out on other Ford vehicles today, it doesn't move me like it does on this car with the black accents. Absolutely does not. Same thing with the silver.
Owen just said that the press car was actually performance blue, and that's funny because I was looking at the some of my pictures from Detroit, and I was looking at them going, man, these pictures look a lot lighter than the Velocity blue, so that would explain that.
Right.
Yeah, that performance blue that's really nice color. That I would do with the black roof.
I'm trying to find another good one. Close-ups and interior. Okay, let's get some close-ups here, and it should give us a better... That's interior. I want a better close-up of... Carbon fiber track package. Here we go. Here's a nice side shot.
Did any of you guys also hear that there is another performance variant that's being announced?
I heard about some EcoBoost one. Right? Is that what you're talking about?
I haven't heard what it's going to be powered by, but there's a guy on Instagram. I don't know if any of you guys follow him, but he's like, his Instagram is the Mike Dean, and he's somebody that works closely with Ford, like either another one of the development drivers or somebody. But I think he's a development driver, is what I think. But he's constantly posting pictures of like the new GT500 as he's driving them and stuff like that. And just the other day, he posted a picture from like the rear that everybody thought was a GT500, but it had a stick shift in it. And then
now,
another
Matt Moran has a good.
He posted a picture, and then after that, they said something along the lines of, "I can't wait to share this new variant with everybody."
Let me see what these color. There's got to be an
And then I
area
heard Speed Phenom, who's one of the same guy that has the video about the pricing. He mentioned something in his video also about Ford saying something about announcing a new performance variant in New York.
What's up, Al? How you doing? I'm trying to find these colors. Any idea what that red's called? Not the, is there... I wonder if there's a specs area.
Yeah, that would be cool, Mach 1. Man, there was a while back, and this was one of the guys that, he's in the know for sure, let's just say that. And a while back, there was a bunch of rumors going around about there being, another 427.
Well, there is. But
No.
Truck motor.
No, yeah, and that's what I was just going to say. That's more of a clue, in my opinion, because this goes back before that engine actually existed. You could probably find
blue, Steve,
on M6G, but before that engine actually even existed and was announced. Yeah. See, now I'm kind of confused though. Is that the performance blue or is that the velocity blue? Because
I think that
looks kind of like the press car.
Yes, it's the lighter version of the blue.
Yeah, see that? Okay, that's almost grabber blue, and when the sun hits it, it's pretty much like grabber blue. So that I would be all over. But unfortunately, the velocity blue is more like lightning blue meets deep impact blue, in my opinion.
Well, here, look at this shot right here. Look how much darker this car is. You know, granted it's darker scenery, but I mean, there's no way that this color
Ford does that shit too. It
is the
pisses
same
me off.
thing.
Like what? Like they show cars. They did the same thing in the 350R. I can't remember the name of the color right now. I don't think it was performance blue. It was something else. It was liquid blue. That's what it was. Liquid blue. Yeah, they had a liquid blue. They showed the 350R in, and everybody loved it. And then they're like, "Oh yeah, but we're not actually selling it in that color." Like,
Yeah, well, what the hell you doing,
come on,
asswipes?
man. I know.
It's just ridiculous. Here, this is more of a picture for you. It's a track picture, so make you feel happy. And I'm going to get yet another Google window because I really have to know.
I don't know, Xander. You think Velocity's lighter than Lightning Blue? I don't know about that. I think they're close. It's definitely a similar color, in my opinion.
Trying to find this hot red metallic. I guess she found it. Did you find it, honey? Grabber lime.
Yeah,
Carbuzz.
I agree, Danimal. It wouldn't be the exact same motor, but it's a 427. They could use that block and put different heads on it.
Doop, 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 doo. My cart is empty, of course.
And again, it was just a rumor, so who knows what it actually is. But I'm just speculating on things that it could possibly be. I'll tell you what I would like to see it be more than anything, but I doubt that'll ever happen, especially now that we pretty much know that GT350 and 500 will be sold together at least for 1 year. But I want to see a Cobra. I want to see the return of a Cobra, just a regular Mustang Cobra. You know, they could. Here's what I would really love to see more than anything, and forget what they call it. I want to see an NA-powered, direct-injected Voodoo. So a 600 horsepower flat plane crank, direct-injected. You know, call it a Cobra, call it the new GT350, call it whatever you want. But man, that's what I would love to see. If
I'm going
they
to
announce
switch windows
that,
here. Hold on a second. I'm going to do a different
if
window.
they announce that in New York, I might have to reconsider whether I'm getting that or the GT500. Because if they announced a 600 horsepower direct injected Voodoo with a manual, have a good night, Xander. If you want to, if I go to the track this weekend, you know, if you need a ride or whatever, if you can't take the bike, I could always come scoop you up if you want to hang out. Just let me know. Text me.
There we go. Let me get this configured a little bit better. Because there's several shots here. Scale.
Yeah, I have nothing against the Shelby name. I just feel like it's a little bit, it makes more sense for, you know, let Shelby do their thing and let Ford make the Cobra, you know, and it's a little bit simpler. It's just a Mustang Cobra, as in, you know, the Mustang Shelby GT500. And technically SVT does still exist. They're just not SVT anymore. They're Ford Performance.
I thought these photos were going to be all the same.
Little
size.
interesting tidbit right here, because I keep seeing everybody saying they hate the knob. Like the one video from the guy from Town and Country Ford, and a lot of they hate the knob, but he specifically said, you know, I don't mind the knob, but the problem is it looks like it was taken directly out of the Ford Fusion. And I've heard a few people say that. So just a little interesting tidbit for you guys. That knob, as far as I know, what I was told is that that knob is a direct takeout from the Ford GT.
From the Ford GT. Okay.
From the Ford GT.
Well, then that's not too bad then.
Yeah, and that's why I think it's funny that like some of the people that said they don't like it specifically noted that like, oh, I don't mind it, but I don't like it because it looks like it was taken out of the Fusion. And then the funny little ironic fact is that it was actually taken out of the Ford GT.
It could have been taken out of a damn Expedition, too.
Who knows if it's not the same? And then maybe they took it out of the, and it's in the Fusion. Who knows?
Right.
Know. Yeah, it says same knob that's in the Ford Edge. I think the last reasoning that they gave was that it was done to save weight. The reason why they went to the knob was to get rid of the shifter mechanism and all that stuff, and it saves weight.
Well, it's also gives you a lot of space there because, I mean, think about it. You're going to be ripping around corners. You're not going to want anything in your damn way if you want to, you know, the area is wide open now. Just, you're not going to be touching it. Really.
Yeah, I assume that too as well, Ken. I figured that the GT500 probably wasn't the only thing to get the knob, but if I could find the video, I'll post a link to it. But I'm pretty sure one of the actual engineers said that knob was taken from the GT. So I don't know which car actually got the damn knob first, to be honest with you.
Well, it probably was the Expedition or some link.
See
There's
that
the
green
knob
right there? See, that's where I'm not a fan of that. And
What's that? Oh, that green. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
and
I just went to the knob. Sorry, I can go back.
I think that is bad editing, honestly, because if you look at that picture, that green again, on the front below the headlight, that looks very unnatural.
Yeah, it looks very bluish, or something's reflect. And the same thing at the very bottom, right above
to
the
me,
chin spoiler.
It looks like when you edit a photo and you put too much like contrast or too much structure into the photo, that's what it does. Like, and I think that's why those pictures look the way they look. But if you look at any of the actual pictures that people themselves have taken with their phone or with whatever, it doesn't look anything like that.
You know, what a possibility if there was a track vehicle in front of it that was, you know, had the camera and it's reflecting that. Because really, that's like a bluish teal color, man. You know what I'm saying? See that I blew it up now?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that I've posted Instagram photos for a few years now. That looks exactly like what happens when you especially if a car has any kind of like metallic in the paint or anything like that. If you try to bring out too much structure or too much contrast, that'll happen. So I think that they just got a little overzealous in editing those photos. But I don't think that's a good representation of what Grabber Lime is going to look like in person.
I cannot believe it is. Well, Gold Pony has, you know, I don't know if it's the same color, but he's got a, what is that? Need for Speed green or something. That's can look a little bit different depending on lighting and, you know, wherever you're at. So this should be coming up right now. The knob. Obviously not a favorite for most folks, but
Fusion, it has an S on the knob instead of the M.
That means manual, I guess.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like the guy from Ford said that knob was taken directly from the Ford GT.
Yep.
So maybe that is the only two cars that have that knob. Well, again, the only difference being an S printed on the middle button than an M is kind of trivial, but.
Let's see what else we got here. Any other talking points? Look at that wing. Holy schmoly.
Jay Rubin says he has that photo open in Photoshop and that the reflection is from another vehicle in front of it.
That's what I was just thinking.
And that's that's possible too. But still, I mean, the whole car, if you've seen other, you know, can you pull up some other Grabber Line photos of the GT500? Maybe we could, not stock photos, like if you just do a Google search on images.
Sure. Let me get another. Let me. It's called Grabber Lime.
Yeah, it's Grabber Lime.
Let me do this. 1 second. Let me get this. 1 second. Let me see if I can make this easier.
But yeah, the pictures that Ford has been showing of it have basically made the car look emerald. The pictures that I've seen of it from people that have actually got the chance to snap a picture of it, albeit pretty crappy photos, but it's a totally different, you know, it looks more like what I would describe a Grabber color. We've had Grabber orange, we've had Grabber, you know, green, we've had Grabber blue.
Yikes.
All of those colors are very, you know, creamy. They're not, you know, like that top one there. That's actually, that I'm quite certain was a Photoshop, but I believe that's
this
a better.
One here?
No, the first one that you looked at. These are all stock images.
What is this bullshit? Excuse me.
That is a real picture that somebody took, and that's obviously a very saturated photo, and it's a crappy picture. But I still feel like it shows you that the car, it's just not emerald green at all.
That is not emerald green.
That's a washed out picture, too.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Let me go back. Oh, that's a good photo right there. Very nice. Let me bring this into position. Oh, man, that's mean. Why
See that right
color?
there? Okay. That is actually, I'm quite certain, that is a photoshopped picture. That's not really the graph. That's somebody photoshopped that. But
Really?
I believe that that color is a better representation of what you're going to see in person than what Ford is showing you in those stock images.
Man,
The
that is
stock
some
images are
color,
making
boy.
it look like a very coarse flake emerald green.
This
And
is
and
this
my guess
photos
is,
from
that there's either
6G.
no flake in that paint,
No.
or it's a very, very, very fine metallic in that paint.
I mean, why would someone spend this much time photoshopping?
Oh, because well, that one I'm sure is a Photoshop because you can find that exact same picture in like every single color for the GT500. So only one of them's real.
I see what
And
you're saying.
that picture's been around since before.
Well, that's
Ford.
on the 6G, so it's probably. I tell you what, this freaking orange right here is sweet. If I can get the damn photo
Yeah,
to
that's
come
what
up.
they did it on St. Oh, that orange is freaking.
God damn it! All right, let me do this differently. Oh, zoom in on this fucker a bit here.
What's up, RS3? Yeah, the orange is sweet too. See, I love the way the orange. I have a similar feeling about the orange and the green. I love looking at those colors. I'm not sure if I like want to own them. Does that make sense?
I agree. I would not either. But the three
But I
that
do
were
have like a kind of envious, like when I see that orange, it's really hard to deny how good looking it is on that
no, it
car.
definitely does. I want to go
really
back to
think
the main.
that See, I want to order the car black for, like I said, maybe leaves my options open. And I love black cars. But
Well, look at this.
I'm convinced, dude, that the GT500, the new GT500, really, really demands a bright color. The silver looks incredible. The orange looks incredible. I'm sure race red's going to look incredible. I think the lime green, if that's your thing, I think it looks incredible.
Damn it.
The light colors serve the car much better. I like that green also because it reminds me of Cobra. Like I remember not only the first Cobra I ever saw back in '93.
Okay.
That like Calypso green Cobra.
This one
First
that
time
we're
I
talking
saw.
about, Steve.
And then also when in '99 when the new Edge Cobra first came out, they were showing it in a similar type green. It was electronic green, I believe it was.
Damn it. This green here, the article references.
He said there's
special
34%
St.
color
Patty's.
correction on that photo. That seems pretty significant to me.
Well, look at this. Ford is celebrating St. Patrick's Day.
I think that should be a big no-no. Like their editing team shouldn't be like distorting the look of a color. Like, yeah, make the photo look as crisp as you can, but don't change the color so bad that you have to remember people order these cars based on pictures that they see.
This is much more representative.
I'll tell you right now, how many people are going to go trust Ford's images and say that's what those are the images Ford put out, that's what I'm going to go by, and then they order the car and it comes in that creamy pastel color and they're going to be like, what the hell?
Yeah. That would be horrible. I would be like, dude, I ain't taking this home. It looks like friggin', the gecko.
I feel the opposite way though. I feel like I don't like that color that you have up on the screen. I
don't like it either, but this is a better view of what that first photo is, because the first photo is washed out in certain areas like you talked about because the vehicle in front of it, the reflection. But
that color looks like it belongs on like a 64 Impala with 24s on it.
That's a good point. What the hell is this? What is this thing? Right here. SUV? Oh, see, this just drills into too many damn...
Oh, God.
things. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Dude, look at that. Brandon S. has a gorgeous, this has got to be a Photoshop, right, Steve? No. What the
Oh my God. Why would you do that to me?
Dude, isn't this what you want to buy?
Yeah, it is.
And so someone from Instagram, Brandon S. Voodoo.
Like blow that up full size. Just leave that on the screen for a minute.
I don't know that I can get it. Let me see. No, see, he doesn't have it. Let me see if I can get to this photo. Okay, there we go. Let me get it nice and... Dude, that's killer.
Oh my God.
That is killer, brother. I'd buy that car.
Dude, that's what it's going to be. Like, I have no choice.
There we go. Oh. I don't want to touch it because it's coming in full size. Give it a second. It's just a little delayed to YouTube. There we go.
Just look at that.
That's killer.
Would you look at that?
That is freaking now, this is Brandon S. on Instagram. Is this the dude you were talking about?
I don't know, but would you look at that? Man.
That is cool, dude. People got... And it looks like he took the gray one and colored it. That is some tremendous work right there.
See, that's what pisses me off too. The two colors that I was set on before the GT500 was even like announced. I wanted grabber blue, or I wanted one of those cool grays that they had out the past few years. Stealth gray, leadfoot gray I like. Avalanche is a little too light for me. I don't like Avalanche because in pictures it looks like a dirty white car. But the stealth gray and the leadfoot gray I was a big fan of. So I wanted either grabber blue or leadfoot or stealth gray.
Okay, you want leadfoot? He's got that photo too. Give me 1 second. It's literally right here. And that's freaking killer. I don't like that. I like it.
See, that looks more. I don't know if that's real. Yeah, that's badass. But that almost looks more avalanche-y than it does leadfoot. I thought leadfoot was a little darker.
It says avalanche under the bottom.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's avalanche. Yeah,
right there.
Yeah. Avalanche. Don't get me wrong. I like avalanche, but not as well. I like them to be slightly darker than that, like the stealth gray or the leadfoot gray. I think I like stealth gray a little bit more than the leadfoot, but they're both sweet colors. So yeah, I mean, you can go back to that grabber blue photo if you want. But seriously, man, like that's, I don't know. See that photo? It just makes me realize I think I'm just going to have to order black and figure out how to make it happen.
Man, I just don't know about black, dude.
The roof stays black.
Oh, here you go. Now we're getting to some colors. The center of the bumper
is going to stay black. So I should just order the car in black and then figure out if I either want to wrap it or there you go. Let's do the lollipop.
I was going to say, why don't you get this magenta?
I don't know, but that white though, pull up the white.
You want it full screen in white?
Yeah, that white. Oh my
Well, there are 4 photos here. I can maybe shrink it down to fit in here a little better. It doesn't look like there's an individual photo. They're all together, Steve. So I really can't do...
They do have white ones on, though. If you just search... are you on Instagram? If you just search hashtag 2020 GT500.
It says Webster. And it's...
Oh, I thought that was Instagram.
Yeah, I guess it is. Well, no, it looks like it
drilled... you can kind of get the idea from that white pic. I mean, that white is also... Like I said, guys, am I wrong in saying that the GT500 almost demands a really light color?
In my opinion, it does. Silver, you don't get the body accents and stuff.
Red, orange. Those are the colors that car looks freaking amazing in.
Let me see if I can find any other pictures on this guy's website. I guess not. I'll tell you one thing.
God, that white, man.
The white is killer. I like the avalanche color, and I certainly like the grabber blue. Now, if I was me, dude, looking at these 2 colors, I would get one of these 2 colors. No, excuse me. I would get a color that you can wrap it grabber blue in because they're grabber blues.
Again, it brings me back to the wraps just aren't like, yeah, from that, I could take a picture just like that and you would never know. But when you're standing up on the car, it almost...
You're never going to have... There's no depth to it. right?
Yeah, there's no depth, and the distinction of image is all distorted. Like when you look into a good auto paint job, like even not a good one, a regular Ford auto paint job, you could perfectly see your reflection in it, like a
Right.
mirror. That's what we call distinction of image. When you look at a gloss wrap, it's all distorted. It
Well,
doesn't.
I've never seen a wrap up
It doesn't
close,
look
so
like
I really don't
glass.
know.
It looks like film, which it is.
Yep.
but it looks like that. It looks like a sticker. It doesn't look like glass. Clear coat looks like glass. Yeah, I always wanted an Oxford White Terminator.
Oh,
I've
Oxford
I've
White,
always
dude.
loved white. A lot of people hate on white. I love white.
Dude, here's your black one, dude. This car is terrible. You're really gonna spend 80 something thousand on this? There's no shape to it. There's no lines. To me, it's
What are you
blocked.
talking about? That's terrible.
It is. That's why I couldn't buy one, dude.
It's just a terrible Photoshop.
No, dude,
It
it's
doesn't
not
even
gonna
look
look much different in black if you
Yes, it
bought it.
will. Yes, it will.
You think so?
It looks like it's gray on top.
I'm not gonna deny that, but that's because white is surrounding it. I mean, I just think black. This black kills this car. Just it doesn't do it
Well, I
justice.
mean, it's going to look different in black for sure. I wish I could. I wish I was manning this. Can't you go to Instagram?
Did you want me to go to
There's
Instagram?
some real. There's a couple real black photos. Uh,
And I had
around
no
on
idea that I can go to Instagram on the web. That's how freaking
Yeah, you just go to
IG.
Instagram and type in hashtags 2020 GT500.
Wait, don't I? Yeah, but I need to.
Yeah, I was super surprised, speaking of that, Danimal, not to see yellow on the GT500. Typically, there's always like yellow for the special model stuff. Like, always. There's always been. The Boss came in
Oh my
yellow.
God!
The
Sorry.
Cobra, GT350.
You know what's
Maybe.
funny?
I'm sure just my.
I never had any
I'm sure
idea
that's
I could
my
actually
luck
log
for
into
saving
Instagram on the web.
There goes Speed Addicts,
crazy.
500 right there.
In black? Ow.
No, just type in 2020 GT500. Just right there, the hashtag. Select the top one. No, what are you doing?
I hit
Just
and
pick the hashtag right there, the top one.
this here. This is what came up.
There you go.
Remember, you're a little bit delayed, so you heard me hit it, but you didn't see nothing happen. So, you tell me which window you want.
Well, there's another real shot of the Grabber Green, but there should be a black one, like driving down the street. And I think it's even raining in the picture.
Oh, there's a wrecked one. You know anything about that? Apparently, there's
A wrecked GT500?
that. Well, they're alleging it's a wrecked GT500 right here.
Oh, probably on the ring or
Test
something.
mule.
Yeah, that actually looks like one of the 350s that was wrecked on the ring. That might be an old picture that they're trying to push
Oh,
off.
play
But
off as a
I could be
current.
wrong.
Yeah. Look at this orange.
That
Looks
looks
completely different.
similar to that same situation. I don't know though. Couldn't see if there was license plates in that, if that was at the ring.
Where the hell is this black one, dude? I mean, it's not. It must be way down.
Well, it's just all kinds of GT500 pics. I like how people hashtag their freaking Charger GT500 so they can get views. So,
Right.
there's that Velocity Blue pic though.
Come on, damn it. Let's go. Where is this thing? Let me do this. Let me go to Let me get this whole window.
That's the one thing that stinks about Instagram is people hashtag things like whatever they want, and that's why like Instagram, it's real hard to do things like type in black GT500 because when people post pictures, they don't always use those kind of hashtags. They'll just hashtag it, you know, Mustangs of Instagram, freaking all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yep. I'm trying to shrink this window down so I can better serve this.
What's up there? Some cool stuff. I'm gonna get the track package. Yeah, actually, I have thought of that, and even though I am a fan of the orange, that's one of my. To me, that's a that's one of the things that I'm not too happy about is that I think on the orange car you should get paint matched rotors. I think red rotors on the orange car is just it looks silly.
You know what? I got to agree with you there, man.
Shot too.
Where's that?
That one just above where you're at. There's a green one. It's just the wheel, but I think it's a good shot of the color.
Yes.
Right there.
Let me go up a little bit.
Oh, you passed it.
No, remember there's a delay. I got it, but
well, you went up and then back down.
Let me see. I need to crop this a little bit.
But yeah, see that right there. That looks more like an unmodified. You know, I'm sure they crispened up the picture a little bit, but I think that's going to be pretty true to the color. And I like that. I think that it fits well with a Cobra. You know, looks like a reptile.
It does.
I would name it Reptile.
Look at that rim, dude. Holy shit. Here, it's coming. It's going to take a second. Look at that. Oh, man. It's going to blow up any second.
I'm waiting for it.
All right. Already. There you go. Look at the freaking rim.
I know. I can't wait, man.
That's crazy. That's a crazy looking rim.
See, oh, man. Do you really think it looks like the McLaren green? Because that's...
No.
I was just watching a Street Speed 717 video like the other night when he got his car back, and that green with the all blacked out tinted windows. I was thinking to myself, man, I wonder if the green on the GT500 is going to look close to that because
I think there's way more metallic in that McLaren.
Oh, I'm sure it's a richer green for sure. Yeah. I mean, it's a McLaren, but I'm talking tone. Like, is the tone similar? Because that green tone with the dark tinted windows, like. A black roof, I think is just going to look really good. That's the silver picture I was talking about. Go back up.
Hold on, it's coming.
Oh my God, look at that.
Yep.
It looks
Let me see if I can dial it in a little bit better.
Raw piece of metal, doesn't it?
It really does. It's killer. Really, really crazy looking.
Yeah, that's silver with the black stripes, man. There's just so many choices.
But I only think there's a few really good choices, quite frankly.
That's what makes it such a hard choice. Like
there's only four. Look at this red now.
I couldn't see
a small photo. That's just too small of a photo, but this was a good representation.
I really don't think there's a color on the car that I couldn't see myself owning. Like every one of those colors.
I would say no black, and I would say no lime green for me. But I think anything else is.
I like lime green, man. I don't think I'm. You know, not really. I think there's quite a few options ahead of it, but I do like the green, and I've always loved black cars. Like a lot of times, black cars they get shadowed out in pictures, and it may not look so great. But a black car, and like you get that menacing look. Yeah, you just don't get with other colors.
Who the hell is that guy? Let me get this guy out of there. I saw a picture of myself. It was a little scary. That's pretty nice. Bright. That's that same dude.
That's kind of how I feel about the green. It's like I really like it, but I'm just not sure if I want to own it.
Look, if you're going to wrap it, you have to have something that is not going to screw up your wrap or keep you stuck into.
Well, that's see
green door jams ain't going to be so cool.
Green car, you're done. That's it. It's green.
Yes, there's no change in it. Black, silver, white, you can change it. Blue, not so much. Red, not so much.
That's why I am kind of thinking black or like white or the race red and just get the
freaking white. I'm telling you, it's wicked. You could de-stripe the sides. Car would be crazy. There's a black one. No, this is probably someone's car. Yeah, it's a regular 5.0. My bad.
Yeah, that's just a GT. That orange is nice.
That silver is like raw metal, man.
It is.
Unbelievable. These pictures are getting worse and worse as we go on here. So,
yeah, Ken, that white with the black roof with no stripes, that's kind of hard to argue that thing.
Yep.
Thing is really good looking. But I feel the exact same way about that grabber blue. So if I was to get black, ultimately that would be my plan, would be to do something like grabber blue. You know what I wished, honestly, even over the grabber blue? Like if they did a mystic chrome color again. Like just a color changing. That would be, oh my God, I wish they would do that.
That would be cool.
That would be
No
awesome.
doubt.
All right, bro. Well, we're about 2 hours in.
Yes, we are. And thank you for everyone that joined. Hope we had a better time. I really got to work this down.
Yeah, we should do that more often with the pictures. That way,
it dawned on me. I think. I mean, there's a lot more I should do. But when you spend majority of your time in bed because you feel like shit, I don't get much done. But better days are coming, and I plan on doing more. I mean, I want to be able to have other people, 2 or 3 people. I want to be able to fix why you look beautiful, clarity, and I look like all fuzzy and like an old guy. I don't like it.
Well, you're a fuzzy old guy. I mean, that's
don't tell nobody that, really. I didn't want anybody to know. But, I mean, it could be lighting. Like, I got to work with the lighting in this room. It's terrible. And
yeah, that's the one thing I notice. It does seem like it's just brighter on my side.
Absolutely. And with that brightness, and then what someone said is the closer I am, the clearer I am.
The closer and the lighting is, your camera tries to compensate for it, and film just gets grainy.
Here's what I don't understand though, dude. I mean, you would think that I would get more range than 18 or 24 inches out of this camera in this machine, but that leads me to say maybe I need to investigate it or set a different resolution for myself. Something that's...
I don't think your distance is bad because you're fairly close to the
right
screen.
This minute, but I'm normally back here,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's because I'm resting my head. I'm stretching myself to not rest my head to show that the image clarity changes dramatically. So I got to fool around with that. But I just got rid of a bunch of things I had to do, and leave me time to do this stuff. But I think we had a good one, man. Thanks for joining, everyone. And
we'll see you next week.
We've not changed the day, but we will if that's what folks want. We will change it to another evening or something like that. Or but right now
we're considering it to an continue doing it once a week. So if we do go to change the day on you guys, we'll let you know either through Instagram or through YouTube community.
Oh yeah, that's a badass car right there.
Don't show me any more cars.
No, it's not. No. I'm the one that wants to buy everything. I just got a picture from Ken.
Yeah, you're the one that wants to buy everything. Sure.
I want to buy it, but I don't. Kind of out of money at the moment. But Ken's car in white is a slam dunk with those welds on it. Oh man.
Yeah, it does look mean. Good. It looks mean.
And you would not go wrong with a 2020. All right. Well, thanks again, guys and girls.
All right,
Appreciate it.
guys. See you next week.
And we will talk to you next week. We are done. Come on, damn it. What is the effing problem? You see, today was